Strofe and I are on this.
Okay. There's only two people that I could trust to, wave
Ruin your
chances. I think I
To
can
ruin
trust
your
you.
chances forever. To be banned forever.
To be banned or to get in?
Yeah, there's only
to be or not to
it's
be.
one or the other. I'm either banned for life or I'm in next year.
Yeah, we're either burning bridges or we are lighting up.
Or you're gonna have
you're gonna have
Jersey
in the raft.
You're gonna he's gonna have a statue by the time we're done with Brookfield Central.
Be gentle, boys. Be gentle.
We got this. We got
gentle.
this. UKBN Nation 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Liz is more, and as always, see our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Look, I'm pumped. We're going to be at Potawatomi Casino Hotel from 2 to 5 on Thursday and on Friday.
Can't wait. Gonna
That's
be in the
awesome.
Thick of it.
We have 3 days until the thick of the chaos of games, and the fact that I have to start here because I forgot about it. Alex Strofe, oh my gosh. You can print out a bracket that doesn't have anything filled out before the selection show? Because you sent us a picture, and I don't know if you have it uploaded from Mr. Relevant, but you have chicken scratch handmade bracket that you fill out as they do the reveal on Sundays.
Yeah, I do it every year.
Print a bracket without anything on it. It looked like It looked like something I'd pick up, from one of the 3-year-olds at daycare. Look at this bracket I made.
Yeah, why do you do that? That is a very strange ritual.
I've been doing it
ever since I was 5 years old.
And so I've always done it on 2 different pieces of paper, so it's big enough so I can really digest it rather than, tiny little text on a tiny little piece of paper. I don't know. I've just kind of always done, I've handwritten it. That's what they say, right? When you write something down, you remember it.
So does it help you process matchups?
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean?
Wow.
So
he's trying to really prove his NCAA
You're a
basketball
bracketologist
acumen.
now? Like you're really good at predicting this, Strofe? You win it all the time? You win all the pools that you're in?
Oh, okay, Mr. NFL Draft Guru.
It's a lash out session now.
Yep. An expert off.
It's 2:03 on Monday. We got a lash out between Kyle and Strofe. Go figure. Kyle versus Strofe beef continues to grow every day.
Strofe mad at me, Strofe. I was asking the question, are you a bracketologist? Or do you typically do well in your bracket pools?
He's mocking you right now,
No,
Strofe.
I understand he's mocking me because it's complete luck. No, I just love college basketball, Kyle. It's as simple as that.
Is it complete luck?
Yes.
I don't know. It shouldn't
I
be.
think there's some skill in this, too.
Are you talking about the bracketology portion?
Yeah.
No, I mean, the bracketology portion is usually pretty close. They usually only 1 to 2 teams wrong, and clearly UNC North Carolina getting in was egregious. But
I read a stat that there's like a curator of a bunch of like bracketologists, 111 of the top bracketologists in the country, all 111 at West Virginia in the bracket.
No way.
Dang.
Only 27 in
I
North
saw
Carolina.
that the state of West Virginia is doing like a legitimate investigation on the NCAA.
But
no, I did see that. We're going too far now, and all
I'm glad
that.
I don't
just
pay taxes
broadly
in West
speaking,
Virginia.
if there's 68 teams,
Yes,
you
yes,
can't
yes.
really complain.
My thing is when you're snubbed, be better. Right?
Yeah, this isn't a 4-team playoff.
And I think Billis or somebody said that yesterday. Like, at the end of the day, we're debating 30 through 35 of the top teams, other than the automatic bids from smaller conferences. Like, my thing is, don't put yourself on the bubble. Great job.
Yeah.
Good season.
Maybe
but
they
don't
assumed the West Virginia folks couldn't read the name.
Okay,
Wow.
now Kyle's lashing out at West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I mean, it was a chance. A lot of kissing cousins there.
Wow.
That being said, the Badgers have ended up in Denver.
Absurd.
No one's excited?
Agree. I'm nervous. I don't know about
All
you.
right.
I'm more nervous.
I'm just
Listen.
happy.
Here's what I'm going to start with, and then I will field questions from KBN Nation. I know Brad Nortman's panicking like a nervous third grader with
like a little
Badger gear
schoolboy.
on.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Look, the Badgers are a 3 seed. You know what a 3 seed is? A good resume and a good team.
Real good.
Iowa State, also a 3 seed, is in Milwaukee. Totally get it. Better resume. Have to be close to home for them as well. The one that's frustrating is Kentucky. Kentucky and Illinois, them being in Milwaukee, feels dumb. Whatever. They're not in Milwaukee. The egregious thing as well is that after playing 4 games in 4 days, the Badgers are playing on a Thursday and early on a Thursday. I get all that. but it's not that big of a deal. I'm really frustrated with the soft mindset right now of trying to find every freaking excuse of why everything's going wrong, when at the end of the day, you're a 3 seed. You are a 17.5-point favorite against Montana. And I'll get to, if you have altitude questions, I'll get to altitude. BYU and VCU. BYU's like a top 24 team in KenPom analytics site. They're a good team, right? Guess what? Whether you played Ole Miss, who's another 6 seed, Illinois, who you wouldn't play, who's in the Big Ten, or Missouri, who's in the SEC, you have to beat somebody to go to the Sweet 16. No one's ever going to get the perfect route. It never is that way. And if we want to go even deeper, 2014 and 2015, when we went to back-to-back Final Fours, 2015 team got absolutely hosed. They got hosed.
2015 team. What? Because
they had to play UNC in the Sweet 16, Arizona in the Elite 8, Kentucky in the Final Four. They weren't even put on the opposite side of Kentucky after they were 3 losses heading into the NCAA tournament. The draw is the draw. The way I look at this is you're flying to Denver, Colorado. Shout out to my guy, Barry is the Don on Twitter. Shout out to Alex Strofe, because guess what, guys? All I'm seeing is, I can't believe BYU's got a home game. It's not a home game. Strofe, how far is BYU from Denver?
According to my math, Provo, Utah to Denver, Colorado is a 7-hour and 15-minute car ride, not counting stops.
The same distance that Marquette is to Cleveland, Ohio. Guess what? In BYU and Utah, sure, they may not have drinking laws where you can drink in those states or whatever. This is Colorado. This is Denver. Weed is legal.
They're going to be caught.
Alcohol is legal.
Pungent smell?
They're going to be scared of all of the people that are drinking and having fun, and they're going to be in their tight little whitey-tighty underpants outside of their BYU home. And it's BY freaking you. I'm not going to sit here as the Badgers are a 3 seed and be like, oh my gosh, we got absolutely crapped on. We're in Denver. We got to beat... You're going to beat Montana. And by then, you'll get your legs underneath you, the altitude underneath you. Little fun fact here. In 2012, one team I was on, we played in New Mexico, 5,000 feet above sea level in altitude. We played Montana in the first round. Kind of ironic. Beat them by 30.
Y'all beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And did it take a 4-minute time, under 16 and maybe an under 12 to get the wind underneath you? Guess what? The commercial breaks are 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. They're longer than all the other media timeouts the rest of the year. Everything's going to be fine. All this team needs to do is win. You have to beat good teams. The draw is the draw. At this point, control what you can control. If you feel slighted, use it as motivation. They're 21 to 22-year-old men who just played really well except the championship game. I'm not getting into the game. It sucked. They were tired. I still think they could have found a way to win. They didn't play well. They didn't do it. But now you move on. And now it's a chance to beat a bad 14 seed, which they have size advantage and will win on Thursday. And then by Saturday, there's no excuses. You go and you play either VCU or BYU, and that's the end of the story. They're good enough. They're averaging 80 points a game. They just beat a bunch of teams and left a dud out there on Sunday. They'll recover. They're going to get out there on Tuesday. They'll do a walkthrough. They're not going to tax themselves, and they are going to deal with the cards that were dealt like every other team in the tournament.
Listen, I'm right there with you, Ben. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to not let my nerves grow because I feel like a little bit how Kyle Wallace feels when the Green Bay Packers are
me into this.
Yeah, well, when the Green Bay Packers are a number 1 seed, and maybe you approach the playoffs with a little bit of nerves, even though you look at it and you say, well, the Packers are the better team than anyone else in the NFC, but the scars of the past sort of take over the brain. The emotions overwhelm the logic. And I just sit here thinking, man, I'm nervous. I thought when they lost to Michigan in the Big Ten Championship, I thought, here we go. We're going to play in Milwaukee. We're going to get a comfortable draw. The Badgers will have earned that. And I will like the matchup against the 6th seed in Milwaukee particularly. But you address some of the reasons that, Ben, maybe we should have more confidence. I have confidence, but it is met with nerves. You already addressed elevation. I'll give you that. I'll give you that these are young athletes. That all it takes is a day to get used to it. The fatigue factor of playing this many games early on Thursday.
NC State won 5 straight games and then made it to the Final Four. If NC State made the tournament as an 11 seed or a 10 seed or a 9 seed, forget what they were. I think they were an 11 seed. If Kevin Keats' NC State team can play 5 games in the ACC tournament, then make their way to the Final Four, I think the three-seeded Badgers are going to be okay.
I think, though, you're a little bit discounting BYU. Now, that sounds a little crazy, but they were in the most recent ranking, they were 17th and 18th.
Whether it was BYU, Ole Miss, Illinois, or Missouri, you're going to have to beat a good team to get to the Sweet 16.
BYU's ranked higher than all 3 of them going into the conference
based off
games.
Of what? A AP poll ranking or the KenPom ranking? Because guess what?
Well, both AP and coaches poll.
Yeah, there's metrics that show you that they're the 3rd of the 4th best team of all the 6 seeds.
I guess we can play the metrics game all day, but to me,
I'm saying if you're going to go with coaches and AP, I'm going to give you actual adjusted offensive and defensive combined rankings. The Badgers are in the top 10.
I'm going to tell you, Brad, I understand why you're disappointed, right? Because
I'm just nervous. I wanted so bad.
It's BYU. They haven't made a Final Four in the program's history.
Brad, at the end of the day, like we can't be concerned about where we're going to play at. Like it would have been nice to play in Milwaukee, but at the end of the day, you should be excited about this Wisconsin Badger basketball team.
I am excited.
This Badger basketball team has proven something to me. Even last year when they had to be the 5 seed going against the 12 seed last year with James Madison, that was the sexy pick to get the Badgers upset. We didn't have the confidence. And then even a couple years ago when they had the 3 seed, they had Colgate and Iowa State. There was a lot of people concerned about Iowa State. This Wisconsin Badger team have been the underdogs. They have the back against the wall. They've had people who have doubted them out, and they have done nothing but step up and play very well. They beat the heck out of UCLA after losing to them during the regular season. They beat up on Michigan State.
They put up 19 threes on Mick Cronin, a defensive-minded Final Four caliber coach who took UCLA there.
So you're saying going into that game, let's say it's BYU, Wisconsin. You guys are having no nerves. You're like, yeah, we got it.
Of course there's nerves, but your expectation should be to win, Brad.
Brad, there was no... I'm going to tell you this right now. VCU could upset BYU. But here's the thing, is that there was not a 6 seed, regardless in Milwaukee or not, that we were going to be able to say, yep, here we go, book your ticket now. There was not that option.
It's never that way.
Yeah, we liked the matchup in Milwaukee, but we had the matchup in Milwaukee against Iowa State a couple years ago, and they beat the brakes off of us in that game. And so all I'm saying is this, is I'm not worried about where we're going to play. What the mentality I want this team to have that they had all year is anytime, anywhere, we ready to go. This team
somebody
has a whole
tweeted me,
bunch of
Kyle,
underdogs
if Montana wants to play tomorrow in Mexico, let's do it. And I love that. I love that because I think this team has the swagger and like the camaraderie to have that mindset. And going back, right, just to talk about being at home versus not at home, I'm not going to lie, Brad, I loved getting away. You spend the doldrums of winter all across the Midwest. Yes, there's some more teams now, so you made it out west. You go to play Rutgers sometimes, but like at the end of the day, it's a grind. It was amazing. Freshman year, we flew out to Tucson. Sweet 16. Nice. Sophomore year, we flew out to New Mexico in the altitude against Montana and Vanderbilt. Made it to the Sweet 16. Everyone's worried about. That's what I'm saying.
About 18, 19, 20. No, come on now, Brad.
They're going to get their wind underneath them.
I'm just saying fatigue plays a role because this is a team that when they're hot, boy, they can beat anybody. But when they're cold, playing a BYU team that can shoot the lights out, I'm just saying there are scenarios where it doesn't happen, and that gives me a little bit of nerves.
But the Badgers have played a way this year that BYU scoring a lot shouldn't scare you because you know the Badgers can keep up.
They can't keep up for sure.
Because they average 80-plus points a game.
And think about what you saw yesterday too, Brad.
And when they were tired against Michigan, they shot poorly.
But wait a minute. But what did they do to Michigan as well? They did up Michigan. So this Wisconsin Badger basketball, I'm so used to saying football, basketball program, this team, they give me more confidence than I've had in a lot of years in this team to actually make it to the Sweet 16. And you know what, Brad? We should be excited about the opportunity for them to have to match up with BYU down in Denver versus having to come here in Milwaukee.
If you're going to have the I'm scared nerves, you can have those. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, they're in a spot in which they get to play BYU to go to the Sweet 16. That's awesome. Like it's not like you're catching like a head coach like a Rick Pitino who took St. John's to the 2 seed. You're not catching like one of these coaches that you're like, oh, they always make the run. It's BY freaking you.
I agree with that. And maybe,
fun fact again, Ben Bruss 7 for 7 against BYU his sophomore year.
Ooh, powerful.
Cool.
And maybe it is the emotion of it because this team specifically, when you lose Storr, you lose Hepburn. Last year, when they got bounced in the second round, it felt like first round.
The second round, beat Colgate year. Oh, you're
last
right.
year.
It was the
12-5 upset.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
It felt like the heat was so dialed up, and this team and Greg Gard responded. So, like, if there's any year I want them to make the Sweet 16, it's this year.
I agree with you, what I'm saying is I love the opportunity that they have. It's not that deep. They're playing. Everyone's got to go to Denver, Colorado. Provo's not as close as people think. And who knows? VCU and that spread, it's tight. It's a 2.5-point spread. You can play
VCU
either team.
Upset
11s make runs.
Tough.
They do.
Tough. They're good teams. They're definitely good teams. Brad, I'm telling you this right now. You're just concerned because the Wisconsin Badgers haven't done something.
I got scars, Kyle.
Yeah, you got scars of the past. You got to let them scars go. And I think what makes me so freeing for this game is that if the Badgers do happen to get upset round 1 or round 2,
they won't get upset round 1.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
But
they're not.
At the end of the day, this Wisconsin team to me has overachieved all year. They've overachieved all year. They have proven something to me. We did not expect, going into the season, nobody expected this team to be this dang good. We were having conversations with Greg Gard this summer, asking about the roster, saying, who are the guys that they brought in? Who's this Amos guy, John Tanjay?
Some of the guys that he talked about weren't even guys that made impacts.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Brad, embrace this identity of this team of being an underdog. You should embrace it. I'm glad they're going down to Denver, Colorado, and that Provo's only a 7.5-hour drive. I like that because it just gives us a little bit more confidence for our backs up against the wall and prove everybody that this team is real.
And Greg Gard in his messaging to the media said it all, right? Like he could have went low. He could have said, "Oh, this is a joke." He knows his team's good enough. He just needs to get them in the right mindset. And I'm not going to be the one to feed the negativity right now because there's no need for that. As he said, we've made the Sweet 16 in Milwaukee, which was I was a part of. We didn't make the Sweet 16 when we were in Milwaukee. 3 seed against Iowa State not too long ago. Made it playing in the West. Made it playing in the Midwest. Made it playing God knows where. It's okay. This is a great thing. You are telling me. If you told me before the season the Badgers were a 3 seed and they had to place BYU or VCU to go to the Sweet 16,
I would believe
we'd
it.
all sign up for it. All. They were picked 12th in the Big Ten standings before the season. They are a 3 seed, the second best seed of all seeds in the Big Ten outside of Michigan State. Lead with some confidence, folks. The Badgers can do this.
All right.
Come on,
you talked me into it.
You're a
Sweet
broken
16
man
bus.
right
Let's
now.
do it.
Come on.
It was that before the draw, and it still is that.
I agree. That is the mindset. Look, it's been a great season for Wisconsin, but it only stays a great season if it's capped off with a Sweet 16.
I'm fine with that as well.
Round 1 exit.
It's a good season. It's a good season.
It goes
great to good.
Another underwhelming
postseason performance.
But there's not as much fire. Think about this. Last year we were talking about, well, hey, if Greg Gard doesn't make it out, he may be thinking about it. We're not thinking about Greg Gard.
He's not on the hot seat.
Not at all.
But it would be underwhelming.
He was on a hot seat last year.
You'd see a trend. You would see a trend of like, man, what do we got to do then? We could kill the regular season. What's it going to do to take to do that last push in the offseason?
There was these same conversations, believe it or not, before we went to Sweet 16, missed the tournament, Final Four. Before that, look at some of the results from Bo Ryan. People are starting to grow frustrated with Bo. And think about what Bo is looked at now as a Badger head coach.
All it takes is
and Greg Gard is not Bo. But all it takes is getting hot at the right time. The team has the weapons to do so, and I'm not scared of the 2 teams they'd have potentially faced on Saturday after getting used to this altitude that I can tell you takes 1 4-minute run, and you're breathing a little bit harder, and then you get used to it.
All right, well, I'm here for it. Go Bucky.
800-990. 3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. See us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Badgers, Packers, maybe sprinkle a little Marquette draw there. Don't love them playing Michigan State in the second round if they're able to get by New Mexico. All that and more. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman
I'm sorry that I don't want to touch Vince Peter.
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzek, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Draft day is approaching, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean green certified products at unbeatable value, making them the can't-miss top pick. Higher Love Menominee, an hour from Green Bay, right across the Wisconsin border. Find them at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a plan to solve your situation right now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. Call now, 844-222-1192, or visit rightchoicetax.us.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Now, we all know our guy Brad Nortman loves some stats.
Love stats.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe here with you. UKBN Nation, 800-990-3776. Carbless Talking Text Line lists is more. And this is something I subscribe to and I look for every single year. And it's starting to pick up more steam. Strofe probably knows about it. If he doesn't, I'll be disappointed. 96% of national champions since 2001 have had a top 21 Ken Pom offense pre-tournament. 91% of national champions since 2001 have had a top 31 defense pre-tournament. There are only 8 teams throughout the entire tournament that fit that criteria. 4 of them, the 1 seeds. You have Houston, Florida, Auburn, and Duke. One of them is a 2 seed, Tennessee. One of them is a 3 seed, Iowa State. One of them is an 8 seed, Gonzaga. And one of them is a 3 seed, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Ooh, buddy. That's a good stat, Ben.
It is.
That's a good stat.
It is a good way to start looking at the way that your team played throughout the entire year. You can look at your offensive and defensive rating, and based off that criteria, you have the metrics to make a run based off that 91 and 96% chance to win the national championship. Am I saying they're going to win a national championship? No, because they'd run into Duke in the Elite Eight, and then they'd run into, again, based off, if we're just going chalk here, a 1 seed in the Final Four, and then another 1 seed, like just on a chalk basis. But the opportunity is there for them to get to a Sweet 16, and that's why I've said my whole thing is get to the Sweet 16, because this team is good enough to make a run. You got to get through the first round.
Yeah, I mean, what that tells me is this team is built to make a run, and it's no fluke. And not that I was concerned that there was a fluke.
I'm just trying to give you some more confidence.
All those higher seeds in the past and underwhelming tournament exits. It just makes you wonder, like, is this team built to make runs anymore? And like they were when Ben was playing. So what that tells me is Greg Gard has
fit
built
the criteria. Those 2 years, we fell short by a game in 2 games.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, I feel good. I feel good. This is a good therapy session.
I'm telling you right now, Brett, you should feel absolutely good. For me, it just comes down to the fact
Tanji was also 1 of 15.
He was atrocious. But
he plays well, they win. And fatigue got him there, but I guarantee
he's an old man.
He's an old soul. He might need a little more ice baths than the other couple youngers as they go out to Denver. But they'll be all right.
They will be all right, Brad. And again, with the expectation that we had in the season, they all outperformed expectation, and then they went to the tournament, the Big Ten tournament, and who would have thought they would have had back-to-back years that they were going to the Big Ten tournament championship? Didn't get the result that we wanted, but again, this basketball team is showing they lost some guys, and they were able to replace them.
And you know what happened when they lost in the Big Ten tournament last year? Storr started counting his money. There's nobody on this team right now that's counting money. There isn't. Based off what I've been hearing about the internal, who they know they need to bring back, based off the blueprint of how they played this year to bring other guys in to start building upon the success that they have with transfers.
Oh, wow.
Everything's heading in the right direction for them to be engaged as well. Tanji has nothing left to do.
This is it.
Blackwell, I don't think is going anywhere. He loves being a Badger.
That's good to know.
In a world where transferring's never been easier.
And we're doing our part with Noah Winter at 100.5 ESPN Madison, helping his NIL fund to be on the jump around 3.0.
That's right. In a time when Team Alliances has never been more transactional. It seems like it's a good culture. It seems like everybody wants to be there, and that's hard to create. It's like a year-by-year basis, and kudos.
And that is why Michigan had success as well, because they knew that they're against the Badgers on Sunday. Their team is comprised of all graduate guys. They were looking to get some sort of championship. They won the Big Ten championship. They got a 5 seed. I don't like their draw. Whatever. The Badgers have a good enough draw to get to the Sweet 16, and at that point, let's see what happens.
Yeah, and the difference is this basketball team seems like the old-time Wisconsin basketball team. This feels more like the Wisconsin-type culture.
Culture. I wouldn't say style play, but culture.
But culture, but still, again, that grittiness, their ability to win close games, the ability to beat good teams. There was a time period there where the Wisconsin Badgers, we were hopeful that they would upset somebody. But this season, they came back when they beat Arizona early on during the season as well, and throughout Big Ten play, they showed that they belong to be amongst the elite in the Big Ten and in the country. So we should feel very comfortable and confident going into the NCAA tournament this year. Unlike Marquette.
Chef Ed chimes in. He's going to be treating me to Cousin Subs when he wins the $1,000 gift card that you have an opportunity to be a part of as well. It's the ESP Wisconsin Bracket Challenge presented by Cousins. One fan could win $1,000 in subs. It is so fun to play along and very easy to play along. It is just go search ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge or ESPN.com, ESPN Tournament Challenge app, and join the group with the password Cousins. Join. $1,000 of subs on the line. The one thing that we didn't discuss that I know we just want to get off our chest real quick, it was really fun again to have a Wisconsin team that we all really care about in a meaningful game with emotions and nerves for at stakes of a championship.
Something you can't say about the football team. I mean, all I could think about, among many things, of being proud of this Wisconsin Badger basketball team was, when's the next time the Wisconsin Badger football team is going to be competing for a Big Ten championship, whether in the Big Ten championship game or even in the conversation? That's exactly what this Big Ten or what this Badger basketball team is doing.
Will it be 6 years? Will the Badgers have a national championship playoff appearance or a Big Ten championship game appearance, or will Alex Strofe have a kid in 6 years? What's more likely?
6 years is a massive, massive window. And whether it be the Badgers making the college football player for Alex Strofe having a kid, almost anything can happen in 6 years. And speaking of massive windows, that is the deal with Pella Windows of Wisconsin. I mean,
huge window.
6 years for a huge, massive, beautiful window.
And it'd be paid off. And Strofe will have a kid.
And no interest for 6 years. And Strofe is toting around a little baby Strofe Jr.
Beautiful windows, beautiful child.
How about that? And you can only get that, and you can see how Pella Windows and Doors can deliver that with their top durable, beautiful, energy-saving, and customizable windows and doors. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering a deal that you just cannot pass up. It is no interest for 6 years. Strofe's going to have a kid in 6 years. Think about that. That is no interest for 6 years. So go ahead and pay those off, and you can enjoy those beautiful Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin all along the way.
Speaking of Alex Strofe, it's his time to shine. Let's hear from Alex Strofe. He had a lot to talk about at Mr. Irrelevant on YouTube at 12:30 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Check that out on YouTube.
That was, what, an hour 20 minute show?
Did you guys notice he's just taking that show longer and longer as he goes and shows up later and later for us?
Yeah, he didn't wrap up to 1:35 today?
Yeah.
Oh, 140-ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honesty, that's great. More next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Let's go. Big, come on.
It's getting tough. It's getting slow.
Ben, don't be pathetic. Your father's with your baby. They're listening. You gotta be better.
But I'm giving it my all.
I don't know what you're at either.
Stop humping the ground.
Yeah.
Get up.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. The tax time sale is going on now, and they'll make your wallet even happier by paying no interest until 2030. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $1,000 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at TPC Sawgrass, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through March 31st. Your winter chance to play TPC Sawgrass awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LANZESS.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette basketball greatest scorers. Tony Smith, he had crazy numbers. In 87 as a freshman, 8 points per game, 8. And yet his senior year, it tripled to 24 a game. Smith's average for many years was the highest single-season scoring average in Marquette history. And he scored 44 against Wisconsin. And 2 weeks later, 43 against Butler. Think. 87 in 2 games, when as a freshman, he scored 234 in an entire season.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Stroop running the show. KBN Nation, as always, 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. See our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
Thank you. You think I'm beautiful.
Oh, and then we get uglier when Strofe throws it on here for becoming relevant.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
All right, the dilemma happened last week, and I forgot to bring it up with you guys on Friday.
A dilemma, huh?
Well, maybe not a dilemma. Essentially, I'm asking you if you think I was getting hit on or not.
Oh, wow. Oh, you just think you're such a stud.
Wow, that smile, that smirk behind
Hey, let's go do becoming relevant, and I can talk to everyone how I got hit on.
Cool, tell us about it. Let's see how somebody
Ben
boosted
just took
that
a shot at how I'm not good looking, so I figured I'd throw it back.
Oh, so because I took a shot that you were good looking, you made the first topic
how I am good looking.
About how you think you're good looking because you were
No, about how somebody else thinks I'm good looking.
You know what I find interesting is that they always call each other out for being me guys.
Oh, we're both me guys.
Yeah, I mean, but you always call each other out as if you're not me guys.
No, I know I'm a me guy. He thinks he's not.
I've never once said that, have I, Kyle?
No, I think he's pretty content with being a me guy. He knows he is.
I'm a me guy a little bit. I love me some me. You know, me and Terrell Owens share a birthday. It's his quote.
Oh, jeez.
So he's gone really deep into this.
Yeah. So, what was the scenario?
So did Manti Te'o's girlfriend hit on you?
That would have been a funny joke in 2013. So Brian D, director of content at ESPN Milwaukee, we went to a coffee shop on Thursday. And we ordered coffee.
Why? There's coffee in the office?
Yeah, we went together.
You couldn't have had our coffee here and worked here? You had to just take a walk?
Yeah, we took a walk. Mix up the workday a little bit, you know? And I ordered a drip coffee. He ordered a black coffee, but iced.
A drip coffee?
It's just like the black coffee they have on tap that day. So whatever, medium roast, light roast, dark roast.
A little bit more bougie than just normal black coffee.
Oh,
no, it's just normal black coffee. Anyway,
so then why didn't you just say that then?
Because drip is the one they already have made. Like, you don't get to pick if you want a medium roast, a light roast, or dark roast. You just say drip coffee. It's what they have readily accessible.
Readily available.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
You don't spend a lot of time in coffee shops.
That's
clearly.
also true.
All right, so I ordered drip coffee. The lady behind the counter pours the coffee, puts the lid on, grabs a donut hole, puts it on my coffee, hands it to me, says, "You have a great day." Smiles at me. I said, "Hey, you too." Brian D gets his coffee. No donut hole. Didn't tell him to have a great day.
Ugly ass Brian D. That's what he is. Ugly ass Brian D.
So, was I being hit on?
No, she definitely thought you was cute. She thought you were cute.
Do you know how many people she probably put a donut hole on?
She's looking for something called a tip. A financial tip.
But that already happened.
Add that 20%.
That already happened at that point.
No.
We were done checking
Here's
out.
the
We were at
overall
a different
point
side of
here.
the table.
Here's the overall point here, Strofe.
What's the point? I'm with Strofe.
You're not the only person she gave a donut hole to. She's taken stabs all day at a relatively above just average looking guy.
Because she's a floozy. That's what it is, Stro. Hey, you know what, Stro? You
My coffee girl's cheating on me?
She know what? Now she is cheating on you with a lot of different people, but Stro, you take
It's like
that
when you
win.
fall in love with at a gentleman's club.
Oh,
you just
wow.
fell in love
boy.
with the barista.
Hold on.
That
Don't put
is
words in my
funny.
mouth. I never said I fell in love.
No, she fell in love.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
okay.
saying, the same way that, you probably...
not the same way.
So you think she's just
Stroke
taking
pegs me
swings all
so as
day?
a guy who falls in love at a gentleman's
Well,
club.
hold on.
I hope
Now,
not. That is.
if I was single and willing, right? Both of those things
Was she
necessary.
cute?
No comment.
No. That's a
You got
yes.
2 eyes.
I mean, she was pretty, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now.
So now you're using this
So,
to send to your girlfriend saying, pay more attention to me.
well, hold on.
Look at the catch you got.
I actually have the girlfriend follow up in a moment, but I want to stick here for a moment. So, if she hands me it and I took it as she thinks I look good today, how do you proceed when she is literally working? Do you just go?
Write your phone number on a
think
napkin, you give it to her, dude. Have some
That's it?
swag.
Okay.
Wow.
I think
That's
you
it?
go back. I think you go back the next day, or you keep on going back to the coffee shop till you see her again. Then you can say, you know what?
Slow play.
Hey, you know what?
He's a slow play guy.
Yeah,
Sounds like a
you know
stalker.
what? That donut.
That's what he did to Lexi.
That donut did make my day.
You literally
And-
stalked your wife in
and I'd
order
like
to
to
get
make
her.
your day. How about that?
Oh, wow.
By
You guys are
taking
good.
Yeah, that's right.
Stroff, I'm a little
You know,
bit too scared and nervous.
I ain't got time. I ain't got
it's
time
sad.
for all that follow up. Here's my number. Hit me if you're interested.
This is sad.
bad.
It shows how long all of us have been out of the game.
Yeah.
This is depressing.
I'm just excited for you.
I just said write your number on the paper and give it to her.
We didn't play Division I hoops, and every girl on campus knew who we were.
No, but if this person didn't know and thought I was cute, I can do that. And then if she looks me up and happens to see I played basketball, then we're good.
Don't act like you had this swag before you started hitting threes and everybody knew who you
Uh-huh,
were.
exactly.
Let's stop. You're a loser.
He's locked in the gym.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. If it were the same thing, and I were to be given a donut hole, I would just be like, I got a donut hole. But that was like that's how.
So
long
that
I've been
was
out of the
my
game.
response.
No,
And I was
Leslie,
like,
you're bringing
oh,
this
no.
on the air of
And-
like, wait,
What a great.
Well, then
day.
our boss said, she didn't give me a donut. You got to bring it to the KBN guys. I said, okay, I will. Now, I brought this up to Hunter Vaughn, who produces Mr. Relevant Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, Hunter.
He said, how quickly did you tell your girlfriend?
Yeah, what do you mean you got to tell your girlfriend?
I said, I didn't.
Yeah, why would you?
And he goes, no, you have to by sundown. So
by sundown.
if you are hit on blatantly, and this I don't view this as blatantly, but if you are blatantly hit on, somebody walks up to you in a bar and says, you are really handsome, can I get your number?
Oh, no.
How quickly do you tell your significant other?
Ooh,
Well, that direct, I would tell her right away. And Lexi
You
would
text
be
her?
like, good
she's
for
not.
you.
She's not with you. You text her and be like, "I just got hit on,"
It depends on how much
or
I
do you
had
just
to drink.
Do you just let it die, or do you just?
I don't think it matters either way.
Yeah, I think whether it be.
Well, I'm curious for each of you individually.
What's your old like Lexi and I? She'd be like, good for you.
Yeah.
you still got it. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, baby, guess what just happened?
Yeah.
Woo, these
Flaunt
women
it.
was on me today, baby. You better watch out. They love me, baby. You got you a snack.
You better watch
like
out.
Austin
You got you a snack?
Yeah, I love whenever, because I don't go out at all. Like, I legitimately haven't been out all 2025.
snack.
I love if somebody does. It's rare, because, I don't put myself in those situations.
It
But
sucks. Good for you, though. This is important.
Yeah.
Thank God he's in a relationship, because if he did give her his number or Instagram handle, she's going to see 3-cone combine drill and you're never going to get a text back.
Quick Google search. Alex Strofe. I
Yeah,
wonder
what's
what
he
he's
known
known for.
What would you do if that was, thank goodness, because what would you do in that case? Like, that's embarrassing. No woman would want to talk to you after that, except for your current girlfriend, but she's stuck. She fell in love before she saw this.
She's not stuck. She's willing.
Oh, she's stuck.
Oh, yeah,
how would I
she's
handle-
willing and able.
She's willing and able. I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. I don't know.
You would just say it's a bit. You have to.
Yeah, I was joking.
Then she'd say, show me how you do it
It was an
faster.
act. It was an act. Okay, well, let's go to the track. Let's see what you got, kid. So,
My hamstring.
all I know is I went home that night and I said, you know what, baby? You are one lucky girl.
Yeah, that's what you got to tell them. Let them know you the catch.
So, Brad, how'd you find out about Brookfield Central Hall of Fame?
Ben brought it up to me.
Yeah.
He didn't know. I had to go through the list of Hall of
you didn't
Fame
tell him?
winners. I had to break the news that Brad is not in the Brookfield Central next Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, I don't know what a guy's got to do.
Don't worry. Like I said,
we got you covered.
Strofe and I have you
gentle.
covered.
Be gentle. I'm trying to stay in good
I'll
graces.
treat him like, as you would say, I'll treat him like a lady.
Treat him like a lady. Brookfield Central is a beautiful lady.
Really?
Well, in different ways.
I may have already taken a baseball bat to a few mailboxes.
Okay,
wow.
Keep that out of the...
the entire committee's mailboxes are on the ground.
Oh, wow. That's a frightening frightening image in my head.
I mean, to be honest, they had
never
to come
getting in. If I had to like kind of schmooze them
They
up
don't know
a
it was
little
me.
bit. Well, how did you sign it? What email address did you do it from?
No. Physical mailbox. I was in the back of a pickup truck with a baseball bat.
And I was driving.
Wow.
Benny was driving.
That's frowned upon in the wonderful suburbs of Brookfield, but
or anywhere.
Well, you know.
West Virginia
particularly in the 262.
What I do know is Kyle told me as a surprise, and I have no idea what the hell it is. So usually it's like Strofe has a surprise, or I have a surprise, or Brad had a dream.
Yeah, this is
unprecedented.
Next. You say this is the lowest.
Yeah,
loaded,
least likely. No, that's the lowest.
Yeah, and loaded
lowest
probably if it's least likely. If it disappoints, then you don't get it to say I have any more surprises. Bad. It's probably bad, but it's gonna be good.
Listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Let them know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
TGIM. Thank goodness it's March. Court is in session. Basketball tournament time is the most exciting time of the year. Are you set for tip-off? Get those brackets ready and stock up for all the games with a trip to Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960, we've been your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With a selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor is sure to make your tournament party a success. So get those brackets together and start the madness. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow in Maine. See all of our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and roll for riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Want to know where the snow is? Snow River Mountain Resort in Michigan's UP is buried in it. Over 125 inches of pure natural powder this season alone. Skip the airport hassle and head to the UP's only resort with high-speed lifts. We're talking deep snow, 0 crowds, and a season that stretches well into April. Why fly south when winter's best-kept secret is right here in your backyard? Make this spring break legendary at Snow River Mountain Resort. Snow River Mountain Resort, where the snow stays longer and the lines move faster. Visit snowriver.com to book now.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Walsh, Brad Norman getting down and dirty on a Monday. Alex Strofe running the show. UKBN Nation 800-990-37. Ooh, Kyle was dancing. I got so distracted.
My
eyes.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Baby.
I felt like I was in like 7th grade science class and I need to run to that chemistry thing and you got to wash your eyes out after seeing something.
You talk about going to strip clubs, fall in love with a stripper, come to a Chippendale club with me, they might fall in love with me.
Wow, you really think highly of yourself.
Look at him here.
And he thinks we're me, guys.
You can see these hips move on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. As I was saying, the phone number before distracted by the great dancing is 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talking text line, less is more.
Well, you may be wondering why, oh why, is Kyle thrusting his hips and putting his hand on his head and dancing and having a good time?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I am very curious.
I am moving my hips and dancing because I'm trying to get loose. I'm trying to practice because guess what? Today, you know how you used to play, we just got a letter.
Oh, do you still have that?
We just got a letter.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. It's from Benny Bruss.
And you know what? Baby girl called me today and she said, baby, you got a letter. And it's from Benny Bruss. And you know what the letter was? It was the save the date today that came in the mail to the Wallace household. And
not a state, household.
Yes, household. It's just a household, not a state. That's very true. And so baby girl absolutely called me today. She called me before the show, and usually she knows. Come to like 11:30. You know, I'm in full show mode. I said hello.
She called, and he answered, "Hey, baby," and it was like, "Okay,
hello, baby."
Is there anyone that he could call baby at work other than baby girl?
Yeah, and so I talked to baby girl, and she was like, "I got something in the mail." I said, "What you mean you got something in the mail? What's going on, baby? We ain't paying no bills. What's happening? We being evicted."
Are we being evicted?
She said, "No, I got a nice little letter in the mail from Benjamin Bruss." I said, "Benjamin Bruss, yep. I just got my letter," and so that's why I was working the hips out because I fully expect to hear Pony at the wedding. Me and baby girl gonna be doing all our little dances at the wedding. Y'all gonna find out how K-Wall get down.
Looks like I gotta see if they can play this song at the wedding. Am I right?
Yeah, this usually a gardener toss. You know they climb under the
anything
dress.
at the Strofe apartment complex?
Y'all didn't wait. You didn't get anything yet?
I have not checked the mail in like a week.
What about the Nortman estate?
So I did text the first lady of the Nortman estate, Lexi, and we did not get it as of today. Now it takes a little bit longer to get out there to those estates. So maybe, just maybe, we're still waiting.
Wait a minute, am I the only one that for sure? Wait, I made it to the A list?
Clearly.
I was on the A list.
Only A list got invites.
Look at that.
And there were
I'm still sweating here.
I'll let y'all know. Add me on Instagram. Yeah, Kyle Wallace 414.
We don't need any more hip shaking. We don't need any more of that.
You can learn from these hips.
Now,
if you move your hips like this, your invite would have came already.
The reason why I'm a little taken aback by this quickness,
so uncomfortable.
I put him in the mail Saturday.
Oh wow!
That is. Did you do like first class mail
First
overnight?
class for me.
Overnight it to the wall.
There was going to be a couple people I've had conversations with, like that. I used, like some tough cuts as we discussed about the capacity, and I didn't have a chance now to.
You weren't expecting to happen this fast.
I didn't expect you to say that before I could have conversations with people that won't be getting save the dates.
Oh, that's awkward.
I mean, hell, ain't my fault. It's what it is, baby. I'm here. I mean, everybody here is invited. I mean, well, I know I'm invited. I believe you're.
I'd like to think so, but until you get to save the date, it's not official.
I know you were playing with Strofe, but Strofe is invited, isn't he?
Well, that's why I just brought up there were some conversations I need to have before you started.
Are you for real? Oh, wait a minute. Time out. Wait a minute. I'm doing all this.
Oh, no.
I'm doing all this. I feel bad doing the hip throws from the pony knowing that y'all may not be here.
Yeah, but you're still doing it.
I can't stop myself. It's what happens when the song comes on. Genuine. Okay, my bad.
Well, that's awkward because I mean, you're celebrating your invitation. We might not even get ours.
Yeah, I don't want to throw it in people's faces. Are you for real?
I don't want to throw it in people's faces.
You've been throwing it in our face.
I didn't realize that I was on the A list before you were on the A list, and me and Strofe were on the maybe list, and now I look like, based off how expedited and quickly it got to my house, it looks like I'm on the A list. Brad's on the maybe list. Strofe is on. Do you want to tell them or?
Well, I might have to in the 2-minute break, head over to the producer's room and have a conversation.
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all should have told me when I had my surprise. Y'all should probably ask me what my surprise was.
I didn't think the last thing that crossed my mind was you'd be thrusting about being invited to my wedding.
Yeah, just dancing on everyone else's non-invite.
Baby girl rarely calls me and texts me during the day, so I just felt like this would be good content. Me and
Are the shirts untucked now?
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's loosened up in here.
She actually was.
It's like the first song's over, and now Kyle's all in to the dance floor.
I am, but here's the thing. She actually sent me a picture of the save the date. Like she was like, "Hey, baby, like this would be great for the show." That's why I wanted to surprise you guys with it because my baby girl.
Did we get your names right?
Well,
was it Kyle and baby girl? Is that the invite?
I think he must have put the real name. She covered up. Baby girl's so smart because just in case I was going to send this over to Alex Strofe to put on the stream.
I don't know if I want my save the date on the stream right now. So please don't.
This is why.
Come on through, KBN Nation.
This is
save the date. Here's the location. See you there.
This is why we usually prep for the show because when I get a chance to
when
do
you go
stuff,
rogue,
I go
this
rogue,
puts
you're
me
right.
in a bad spot. Now we're inviting everyone on the show.
Yeah, my bad. Never mind. I won't. I'll make sure I get it off my phone. But I do apologize because I do understand.
You can send it to me though.
I do understand how important these weddings are.
Yeah, so you can see what the save the date looks like just in case you don't get one. His default of not wanting to talk about it.
Yeah. It's a defense mechanism.
Are you using me to kind of, get out your embarrassment of maybe not being invited and having to have a serious conversation in the next 60
mechanism,
seconds?
for sure.
If this can cheer you up for not being invited, I got you, Stro. I'll send you a video of me dancing. If you like me dancing, I'll send you a video.
Kyle does look like it's about 10:30 into the wedding night, where the shirt's untucked. He looks disheveled. His glasses are heating up.
Will you be looking like that a little bit, Bradley?
Oh, of course. I get a couple carbless in me, and I'm dancing just like that. And you know what? If Ben's wedding doesn't have carbless at it, I might not even attend. That's why I said it. If he doesn't have an array of carbless, I might not attend. I will walk through the doors and walk right out.
You are spoiled from those estates.
That's true, because carbless, man, that's the only thing that I want to be enjoying when I'm dancing at Ben Bruss' wedding or whatever it is, whether it be a Monday night, watching these games coming up here with the big tournament coming up, or whatever it is. There is an occasion for everything when it comes to carbless. And speaking of an occasion, if you want to be transported to a tropical paradise, then you need to pick up the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. You're going to start to see it roll out at your local grocery store. Wherever you pick up ready-to-drink cocktails, you will see the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack with unbelievable flavors like blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, grapefruit. Not only that, the mango vodka cocktail also hitting everywhere you see. So as you're taking your grocery cart, you're walking down the aisle, be like me. I always stop at the carbless section, pick up the Nortman Estate, pick up drinks for the Nortman Estate so I can enjoy them, and it feels like I'm sitting on a sunny beach with the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack and the mango vodka cocktail because it has everything I'm looking for. It's just like all the rest of the carbless. Low carbonation, high flavor, no carbs, no sugar, no gluten, no guilt. Just 100 calories and made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Carbless continues to show why less is more. So enjoy yourself a carbless like me tonight or at Ben Bruss' wedding with a carbless.
Enjoy the show on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Kyle's going to give you a
little show
encore
right
here.
This is for Strofe, baby, because he ain't going to be able to see it live at the Bruss wedding. This is all for you, Strofe, baby.
Back in 2 minutes.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office, One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
After watching Kyle dance, I might need to put a limit to his dance floor capacity.
Listen, I'm going to steal the damn show. Me and Jonathan Brust, JB, your brother, we're going to be out there just
but JB can't dance. My brother Steven was in Footloose and was Ren, and he can dance his body off.
Can he actually dance or not?
Oh, yeah. He can moonwalk. He can do it all.
Oh, I can't do all that now.
Yeah, Steven will show you up.
You're all
hips, huh? I'm going to be by JB because JB going to be moving around wild, and I'm like, woo, yeah.
Yeah, you guys will be woo guys together.
I cannot wait to woo with JB. We're definitely going to take a picture. You know how me, JB, and Strofe took a picture together and sent it to you?
You guys sent a picture to me?
Did we not send it?
I didn't get a picture of my brother Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace.
Well, we'll
I'll
definitely
pop it on the stream. Hold on.
Well, I'll definitely take a picture with JB and send it to Strofe. Say, wish you were here, buddy.
Well, I mean, can I join the picture at my own wedding?
I don't want to bog you down. It's your day. You don't want to be bogged down with the wildness of me and JB at
That's
a wedding.
no.
You're getting Saturday, Kyle. Excuse me, you're getting Friday.
Strofe, I mean, stay tuned. We may not have this conversation because just because you got to save the date doesn't mean you're getting an invitation.
It sounds like you want to hang out with JB more than
the groom.
Who wants to? You don't. You're going to be. Everybody wants your attention.
But what if I was going to this thinking I wanted to be around Kyle?
Oh man, then let's do it. I'm telling you, Kyle on the weekend Kyle is a different Kyle.
Except if the Packers play and disappoint you.
I am still a different Kyle, just more angry Kyle, more disappointed Kyle.
Where are you at in the stages of grief or your attitude towards the green and gold?
I'm about had it up to here with the Green Bay Packers.
Where's here?
All the way up to the top of my hairline. I'm absolutely upset with the Green Bay Packers.
And you balding, so that's high up.
Now you a lie.
I'm a lie.
I got a beautiful head of hair.
I'm a lie.
And so for me, what frustrated me this weekend, it should have made everybody mad. Because remember we had a conversation talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. We said, how can the Bengals pay everybody? Like, they have Jamar Chase, the best receiver in the NFL. They can't pay T. Higgins. There's no way they can keep T. Will the Packers go and get T. Higgins? Well, then over the weekend, news breaks. What was the news that broke, fellas? It was the fact that they were going to re-sign Jamar Chase to make him the richest receiver of all time in the NFL. And also, they were going to bring back T. Higgins. And then we saw a report that Trey Henderson may also be coming back.
You really struggle. You always call him Henderson. Hendrickson.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you just go so fast.
I'm sorry. Well, the whole point is this. I need the Green Bay Packers to do something for me. I need the Green Bay Packers in the goodie. I need them to stop lying to us. I need them to stop lying about the Green Bay Packers are finally going to be committed to competing for championships. Because based off what I see the Bengals are doing, a 9-8 football team that did not make the playoffs, they're trying to keep all the top talent because they want to keep having shots at it. I know you're not calling me a crybaby. You're calling me a crybaby because I have to watch a team that did not make the playoffs but are still shooting for the moon by paying big-time money, $68 million combined for 2 wide receivers. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers went
What do you say to those who say their defense stinks and they didn't help any of that?
They're going to try to keep Trey Henderson. They're still going to try to keep Trey Hendrickson and keep him with the Cincinnati Bengals. They're still going to try to keep people around to make sure that this team has an actual opportunity. They're probably going to invest in the defense through the draft. But when I look at the Green Bay Packers, I'm just getting a little fed up with when they have an opportunity to swing for the fences, they have not. Not saying they could have for sure got T. Higgins, but knowing that T. Higgins is staying in Cincinnati, that's a football team that says, you know what, we have a window of opportunity here. We have a quarterback in Joe Burrow, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We have a receiver in Jamar Chase that is the best receiver in the NFL. We have a receiver in T. Higgins, who is the best number 2 wide receiver in the NFL as well. We're going to do everything we can to keep this core together because we believe that we have something special. I look at the Green Bay Packers. We don't have a wide receiver 1, and we're not even trying to look for a wide receiver 1. We don't have a pass rusher that can wreak havoc, and we're not even trying to look for a pass rusher to wreak havoc. Our number 1 cornerback that we have in Jair Alexander, he's disgruntled, and we're looking to separate from him. When I look up and down this football team in the Green Bay Packers, they have very few guys that are game changers on the offensive side of football and the defensive side of football. So it just upsets me when I see a team like the Cincinnati Bengals that are doing everything to keep their talent to try to compete for championships. Meanwhile, my Green Bay Packers are sitting here thinking that they stuff don't stink.
800-990-3776. Brad Lee, KBN Nation, I see your responses, and I'm more with Kyle, but it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah, I'm mostly with Kyle. What other teams seem like they're doing with the Bengals in this situation, looks like they're trying to stack stars, right? Which I think is what you need in order to make a championship run, right? So the Bengals, it just happens to be Burrow and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and trying to make it work with Trey Hendrickson. You talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, their stars all over the place. They just won the Super Bowl. So teams that are actively trying to win a championship, looks like they're identifying their stars or they're going out and getting stars. They're trying to stack them up at multiple levels of the ball. Now, at least for the Bengals, I give them credit for being like, this is who we are. These are our strengths, and we're going all in on them. We're not going to let a player walk out the door who is a superstar at their positions. They might be flawed a little bit in their thinking, but at least it feels like if I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, at least the messaging to me is we are going for it. We are not going to let somebody walk out the door who is great at their position. The Green Bay Packers, they do that to an extent. They do that with, quarterback and maybe a little bit of O-line, but they look for value.
Gosh.
It's value, and they're trying to just be steady and prudent and long-term thinking, which I think helps you win, but it doesn't send the messaging that the Bengals are sending, where it's like, we are all in and we want to win right now.
Well, let's hear from Scott Middleton as the Packers are still in need of a game wrecker on the defensive line and a reliable number 1 wide receiver, unless you believe the wide receiver group is going to pop. Let's go to Scott on the Cardinals Talking text line. Scott?
Hey, guys. The Packers operate in a much more conservative fashion than the rest of the league for one very simple reason. There is no crazy billionaire owner, right? So there's not someone that's going to go to the owners' meetings and then see the Eagles owner and say, "Oh, well, he just won the Super Bowl. All right, we're going to go, double down now." They don't have that person, right? So they operate in a much more conservative fashion. They would rather be competitive every season and not try to push all their chips to the table.
Yep, Scott, totally agree. But aren't you getting a little sick of it after 15 plus years of a Super Bowl appearance?
I am, but it's not going to change.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Wait. Is the NFL about winning the Lombardi Trophy, or is the NFL about winning football games just to, make the playoffs? What is this about?
It's interesting, too, because Scott's
Thank
right.
you for the call, Scott.
There is no owner. I can't decide if that's a negative or a positive because, yes, you're not going to have any erratic behavior that makes you make bad financial decisions, but you also don't have a guy that turns up the heat. It feels like everyone's just comfortable. Everyone's just comfortable, whether it be the president or Goody the GM, and maybe there's a little bit more pressure on like quarterback head coach because they're more in the limelight, but everyone seems comfortable. There's no owner that's putting the screws to them and saying, we got to change, we got to do this or else. It's all status quo.
Well, it's because there's a message from the top. Until that message from the top changes, Goody's not going to have to change any of his ways.
Well, hopefully Ed Policy has more of a message like we saw with the Milwaukee Bucks. Wouldn't you rather be the Milwaukee Bucks right now? And we talk crazy crap about how old. Well, you can say well all you want. We talk crap about the Milwaukee Bucks and how old they are, but at least the Milwaukee Bucks are keep swinging. The Milwaukee Bucks, they had Chris Middleton and they had Giannis. They need to get something else, and they went and they got Drew Holiday and they won the championship. Then they ran into a wall where they felt like they didn't have a real legitimate number 2 that they can depend on, and they traded Drew, even though he's beloved here in Milwaukee, and they got themselves a Damian Lillard because they wanted to keep taking shots at it. I would rather have a team that's trying to take shots at it, who's capitalizing on when they actually have a franchise player, versus a team like the Green Bay Packers that we don't really know what they're doing. Like, well, we
do.
They want to be consistent, right? But they're not going for it all, right? To get Devontae Adams, signing Devontae Adams isn't going for it all. It just shows that you actually want to compete at a higher level. Running it back with receivers that literally you have a combined salary going to last year less than $10 million compared to a team like the Bengals that got $68 million at one position with two players. It just shows you where the mentality is. They are, like you said, Brad, they are going all for it. They're letting their stars stay, where the Packers barely have any stars that they can get to keep to stay.
800-990-3776. Our guy Sean in Beaver Dam on the Carbless Talking text line. Sean?
Hey, guys. Kyle, great point about the Bucks. And Kyle's the owner of the Packers. And
I was thinking the same thing, Sean. I was like, go raise hell at the owner's meeting.
Yeah, I tried last year.
No, you didn't. You looked at Lambeau Field like, I'm so happy to be here.
Wow, how lucky am I?
Yeah. What I would like to say, though, is the Bengals, they can run it back with what they've had, but that hasn't been doing it for them. They're not even making the playoffs. Their defense ranks in the lower echelon of the NFL, and I really believe if you're going to make a run at the Super Bowl, you have to have a defense. I mean, we could go back to our Reggie White, and we can go back to, a bunch of signings that we had on the defensive side of the ball that helped us win the Super Bowl. So you can have all that offensive power, but if you can't stop anybody, that's not going to help you. So I disagree. I mean, I know that those two receivers are the bomb.
Look, no doubt, Sean. You're not saying anything that is wrong about the defense, but the same point could be made. Just because the Bengals are doing a team building way different than the Packers are doing a team building way, it would be great if, I think from Kyle's perspective, if the investments that were there for the Packers at wide receiver and defensive end were made in this offseason, even if they weren't, Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, it would just be showing they're looking to continue to compete at a higher level.
Excuse me, the Bengals are 3 years removed from playing in a Super Bowl. Let's not act like this team is just garbage and trash. And Joe Burrow, not this passing, but I believe the year before that, he had injury issues. And so my thing is this: let's not act like the Bengals haven't found a formula for success. They just had a beat-up year where their defense was bad. But if they can correct some issues on the defensive side of the football, they will leap over the Green Bay Packers. So we got to stop acting like the Packers got this perfect formula, because they do not. Because the Bengals have been in the Super Bowl more recently than the Green Bay Packers have.
Agreed, and obviously that is a factual point, right? They have been in a Super Bowl more recently. But tell me what T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow all had in common when the Bengals made the Super Bowl. They were on rookie contracts.
They were inexpensive, but the thing is, they're right now going into their best years. That's why they signed them, because Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow are all going into their prime years. You want to have those guys in their prime years, because just like we're trying to figure out if we can catch lightning in a bottle with some of these young receivers, they already got lightning in a bottle. They understand that they're going to be able to score with any and every team in the NFL. They got a young emerging running back in Chase Brown as well.
Brian on the Carlos text side calls you an idiot because he said you guys are idiots, and I just said I don't want to build the team like the Bengals, so I don't want to be a part of that you guys
made a fascinating point before we threw it to the caller. He said these guys are trying to figure out how they can keep all their superstars and pay them. The Packers, you look around their roster and you're wondering if there's any superstars to even pay. It goes back to Goody and drafting and building a team where he's drafting a guy that are all Bs, but you don't want to pay them top dollar at their position. You're not working the cap to figure out, gosh, how do we keep Jaden Reed? How do we keep Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, and Dontavian Wicks? That's what the Bengals are going through right now. So outside of Love and maybe a few guys that are coming up like Tom and Tucker Kraft and stuff, there's just not many guys on the roster where you're looking at it and saying, geez, we got to figure out how to keep this guy. We can't let him walk out the door.
I think this is all good heading into Jason Wilde, but before we get to Jason, I want to tell you why you need to go to weedman.com. That is weedman.com, because you want to have that yard that all your neighbors walk by and go, ooh, that is lush, green, and weed-free, and that's what Weedman can do for you. They use golf course quality fertilizer. It's a new week. Let's try this out, Strophy. It is kid and pet friendly. Kid and pet friendly, folks. It's all part of Weedman's winning game plan. So get a free quote by going to weedman.com. Get 50% off your first treatment. That's half off at weedman.com. Weedman for the win. Jason Wilde, after Kyle's getting up to here with the Green Bay Packers, which is above his head.
The high heavens.
Next
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Dick Van Dyke, real quick on the cha-cha slide ACL, says she was carried out by all 5 of us. 5 people?
That's a big girl. Big girl. Yeah, that's a big girl who did cha-cha.
Stop it, Kyle.
What you mean? 5 of them had to carry out a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Starting off with a little bit of a backup on northbound 43 from North Avenue up towards Keefe. Also on southbound 4394 starting to slow down at the base of the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River crossing. Southbound 41 heavy from Silver Spring down past Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by Granite Peak in Wausau. Visit skigranitepeak.com for lift tickets and lodging packages. Granite Peak, where winter lasts longer. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Mostly clear skies, breezy with a low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 40 to the north, 50 in Milwaukee, and 60 to the south. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I always loved the line, I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to prove us right.
But that's from a non-petty person. A petty person would never say that.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is that why Tom Petty was playing when you came back on?
Yeah, that's
Petty.
Matchbox 20.
Kurt Petty.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Fingers come in different sizes.
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler.
And a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
Which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
the Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
We're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size...
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
All they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on the winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and roll for riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Bruston Nortman.
This is Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these various stations. It's Kyle, Bruston Nortman, Strophy running the show. What's going on, Jason?
Well, I'm wondering if Strophy works pretty hard, right? We can all agree.
Well, he did a really good job of getting some audio from you that I needed for the show today.
I'm not super excited about that. I was just thinking maybe it's time to refresh the Open for me.
Ooh. He set you up with that one. You thought it would be all compliment.
And I'm staring at it. It has been about 4 months, so that's fair.
Just a thought.
And you know what? He does give good nuggets every single time. He could change it out per appearance, if you ask me.
I don't need to create that much work for him.
I do.
So what audio were you getting?
So what I was going to do here, Jason, is, in the Homer Hour where, like, Homer lies, going to break, he's like, I'm best segment, I don't got to do anything. And then, of course, he interrupts, which is what Homer does, which is great, with good points. But he hands it to Brian Balaga or John Anderson to talk with you.
I hate that.
But Kyle just spent a lot of time being frustrated, and it's not necessarily how they're building the team, but the commitment that the team is making towards their superstars. It has Kyle sort of up in arms about the Packer way right now, and I feel like it'd be a good time for me to not ask this first question and hand it over to Kyle based off some frustration.
Yeah, Jason, I'm just a little frustrated with the fact that when I look at the Green Bay Packers, I don't see the same sense of urgency of wanting to compete for championships. Like Goody said, he said it's time that we start competing for championships. And I see the Cincinnati Bengals, though, granted it was their guys, but seeing the Cincinnati Bengals make the huge investment in T. Higgins, make the huge investment in Jamar Chase, hearing rumblings that they may actually keep Trey Hendrickson here as well, it just is frustrating me for the Green Bay Packers because I see a team that's 9-8.
You mean here, you mean there.
Well, I see a team in the Cincinnati Bengals that's 9-8, didn't make the playoffs, but understand that their window is wide open, so they're doing everything they can to put themselves in a position to try to be successful, where I feel like the Green Bay Packers are still taking this, as someone said, conservative route towards trying to compete for championships. I just want the Green Bay Packers to be all in, Jason. It's frustrating to see the Bengals go all in. Meanwhile, my Green Bay Packers are sitting here saying, well, we got to sign these guys coming up. We're not going to try to go all in on the defense, or we got the guys. That's what my frustration is, Jason. We know we don't have the guys, but they're acting like we do.
Well, I would say this about what the Bengals are doing with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They're certainly doing that to keep their quarterback happy, right? And if they're able to pull off the Trey Hendrickson piece, that will be great for them because now they'd have, their star defensive player, their two stud receivers, and their quarterback all happy and healthy, and everyone will be thrilled. What that does when you allocate that much money to that small group of players is it ratchets up the pressure on you to really be good in the draft. Your margin for error gets a heck of a lot smaller. And in Goody's case, he did pay the quarterback, and I don't think he had a choice. I think that was, the cost of doing business. He doesn't have a Jamar Chase or a T. Higgins, although he could have had T. Higgins. He drafted Jordan Love instead. And I'm not saying that they win the Super Bowl the year that they lose to Tom Brady in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game, but we have to at least allow for the possibility that maybe their offense would have been more productive if they had a T. Higgins, who I think had like a 900-yard season his rookie year in Cincinnati. But Dontavion Wicks and Jaden Reed have not become those guys, or, Christian Watson. I'm sure when you draft Christian Watson, you think he's going to be your Jamar Chase. And at a bargain because he played, Division 1A or 1AA football. And with his injuries and other issues, he's shown flashes of how good he's been, but not consistency. And now he's coming off an ACL and he won't be ready till November. Romeo Doubs has shown flashes. I think in his heart of hearts, Goody would have loved to have had two of these 6 wide receivers he drafted in the 22 and 23 drafts be so good that he has to pay them. But I was going back in my archives because I was trying to figure out, after the 2020 and 2021 draft classes now each have one player left from them in Isaiah McDuffie and Jordan Love. Goody had made a comment about how many draft picks get second contracts, and he said the statistic was 1.6 out of every draft, which, by the way, the 2020 and 2021 draft classes failed, right? They only have one. So his philosophy is that he will spend for a field-tilting player. But even then, the structure, you look at the structure of Jacobs' deal and of McKinney's deal, and they can still get out of those after 2 years. The same thing with Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs. But his philosophy is, I'm not going to overspend on guys who don't deserve it because I need to have flexibility. But if that's not going all in for you, I mean, in fairness, the Bengals didn't go out and add anyone other than, I think, TJ Slayton from the outside. Like, they drafted two players that were both worthy of these big extensions. They signed Trey Hendrickson as a free agent from New Orleans when he hadn't done anything. And then, obviously, he became a great player during his time in Cincinnati. I just think that Goody doesn't have anyone that deserves these contracts. And if he did, I do think he would pay them. But right now, no one has proven to be deserving of that. And let's also look at who he has paid. You know, he paid Jair Alexander. He paid Rashawn Gary. He paid David Bakhtiari.
Kenny Clark twice.
Right, and I would say Kenny Clark, second contract, he was fine, good, very good on, and the first year of his latest, he's probably feeling like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I think you're probably being a little prisoner of the moment. I understand your frustration, and I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but I think it traces back to this wide receiver thing and the fact that with Watson coming off an injury and being out till November, with not knowing what the heck Dobbs is, and with Reed and Wicks not having made a big jump, I think you feel like if they had gone out and traded for Metcalf or signed Devontae or even signed Cooper Kupp, who's a name you know, who's been a Super Bowl MVP, who's won a triple receiving crown, you wouldn't be feeling this way. And all it would have taken was one guy. Is that fair or not?
A Devontae Adams would have definitely been the guy. Cooper Kupp would have been, okay, at least they're trying to do something. But I guess you're right. My frustration is we're in year 3 for Christian Watson, and we're still not talking about him being a number one wide receiver. We're still hoping and searching for who that guy is, and that to me is a failure amongst Goody. If you draft a guy that high in the second round, your expectation is that he's going to develop like a Jordy Nelson. He's going to develop like a Devontae Adams. And just right now, we have not seen that from Christian Watson.
No, you haven't. That's a fair critique, but again, when you draft these guys, you're hoping, right? You think you evaluated them correctly, but you're hoping that you're right. And the example I always use is that Ted Thompson and that scouting department, which, by the way, included Goody, evaluated that Vince Beagle was not significantly different in their grading from T.J. Watt. So they were comfortable trading back, settling for Kevin King as T.J. Watt came off the board because they didn't think that he was good enough to spend that first-round pick on. And then they got Vince Beagle in the 4th, and they thought, hey, we got a guy that we think is just as good as the guy we missed out on, and we got a corner that we think is going to be a really good player. And it turned out they were wrong on both. And T.J. Watt has gone on to be a potential Hall of Famer. So my point is that if you screw up the evaluation and you're wrong about guys, like they were for most of the 2020 and 2021 drafts, then you're fixing those misses, and you never want to be chasing that and throwing good money after bad. And right now, they're a decent playoff team, but they need more guys that are special. And they paid some guys that they thought were going to be special, and they haven't been special enough. and that includes Jordan Love. And I am still very much a believer that he can still become a top-flight quarterback. But we crowned him prematurely, if we're being honest, and we probably did that. Not probably, definitely did that. With this wide receiver, you don't need a number one. You can have it by committee. You can have an ensemble cast, and that, as of now, has turned out to be wrong as well.
Jason Wilde joining us here on Kyle Bruston Nortman. Hey, Kyle, next time, you have Jason for 30 minutes on Sunday Karma. You can do this with him as well.
Not this week he didn't. So I was at a gymnastics meet.
All right, fair enough. You are like one of the regulars, actually, as we've discussed on that program, as Jason Wilde joins us here
all his time
on Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Also true.
Jason, you're talking about having special players, and one area where there is a void at that is wide receiver, as you've been explaining and has been talked about on these airwaves. So on Friday, I made the declarative statement that I believe and I foresee
Wrong.
using that first-round draft pick on a wide receiver. It just makes too much sense, right? Dobbs and Watson entering the final year of their deal, likely not to come back. You still avoid that guy. It's one of the few gaping holes that you have, and you got four capable, to my very surface level diagnosis of this class, that are worthy of a first round draft pick. So are you with me, Jason? This is the year that Goody uses that first round draft pick on a wide receiver.
No. Are you kidding me?
Oh, come on.
I tried.
Jason, live a little.
Strofe, Kyle, and I tried this, Jason, but Brad's tough. He's boneheaded.
I'm stuck on it, but Jason, I want to hear your opinion.
Well, it'd be great. Hey, look, if there's a guy I agree and I am not a draft Nick, but from what I have read from Mel Kiper and Pro Football Focus and a couple of other places, Dane Brugler, who I think is really, really good for the Athletic, it looks like 4 wide receivers in the first round, and maybe only 3. And if they see one that is of value at 23, Goody was actually asked about this at the Combine. And he basically said, look, it's not a policy. It's not like we just said we're not doing this. But when they have picked, there just hasn't been a guy that they deemed worthy of that pick, right? And again,
real quick, Jason, I find that interesting that he says it's not a policy, but then he referenced when drafting defensive players, they've done the same sort of system the last 30 years.
Well, right, in terms of how they grade them, but he doesn't say, we're going to draft defensive guys in the first round all the time. I think it's just,
happens a lot more. Is it?
No doubt about it. Right, but what I'm saying is that I think he believes that first round pick has to be of value, and I think he views the wide receiver position as if he was at the top of a draft and it was Maserati Marv, as Tausch likes to call Marvin Harrison Jr. Do I think he would have picked them had he somehow fallen to them in the teens or something? Yeah, I think he would have. I don't think he's philosophically opposed to that. He's also not philosophically committed to always drafting defensive players. That's just sort of how it's played out. But I do think that when you look at this draft, it's going to be really hard because there's a lot fewer really good wide receivers in this class. So this is not the one that's overflowing like some of the other draft classes were with great wide receivers. So maybe somebody falls and they're at 23 and they're like, we're doing it, and Javon Walker will finally be a footnote as opposed to someone who gets brought up every single year around draft time.
2002. We want to let it go. Jason, we appreciate the time.
Think about how long ago that was. Tausch was a third-year NFL player.
As we've been talking about with the 6-year deal with Gina Della with no interest, I mean, Strouf's going to have a kid in 6 years, and it's over 3 kids.
I was 3 during the 2002 NFL draft.
Yeah, I was in 7th grade. How about that?
Where were you?
I covered it. I was there. Yeah. Sure.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Bye, old man.
Whoa.
You're going to leave that segment?
Yeah, he didn't hang out. Thank you for sticking around.
He's lashing out at everybody today. He's mad because he's not getting invited to Bruss' wedding, so he's just mad at everybody.
He hung up.
Yeah, well, we were speaking for him. I think he was okay with that.
Yeah.
That's all it is, Strouf.
Well,
better, man.
The hood on today, the Stone Cold look.
It's Rebel Strofe.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like that kid in the back of class, puts the hood up, and I'm not going to be agreeable today.
It's exactly what it is.
How have I not been agreeable? I've done nothing wrong.
Are you still mad that I made fun of your corned beef or what you thought was
I'm a
corned beef?
little bit irritated about
Kyle
that.
versus Strofe next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Women ask you, do you love me? Why do you love me?
Wait, why am I always the one doing that? Tell me why you love me, baby. I need you to make me feel better.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We are backing up a bit northbound on 43, right around the North Avenue curve, all the way up towards Keefe. We got a disabled vehicle off on the right shoulder, so that's going to be affecting your ride. We've also got a crash on westbound 94, right about at 25th Street with the right lane blocked. So that's going to be tying things up a bit as you're coming through the Marquette. Giving yourself a little bit of extra time would be a good idea there. Southbound 41, you're slowing down from just south of Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. When business brings you to Milwaukee, make the Knickerbocker on the Lake your home base. Enjoy modern meeting rooms, lakefront views, and refined dining. Visit knickerbockerontheLake.com to book today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mostly clear, breezy, a low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 40s to the north, in the 50s in Milwaukee, and 60s to the south. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft Greystone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft Greystone from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
A pair of big games for the Bucks at Fiserv Forum over the weekend. First on Saturday night, taking on the Indiana Pacers, and it was none other than Giannis leading the way.
Another double-double, and Giannis rumbling through the teeth of the defense. He stuffs it down with a one-hand jam, and the Bucks have stretched out to an 8-point lead.
34 points, 10 boards, and 7 assists for the Greek Freak in a 126-119 win on Saturday over the Pacers. But on Sunday, it was the Western Conference leading Oklahoma City Thunder taking it to the Bucks 121-105. And now it's a 5-game road trip out west for the Bucks, starting in Golden State against the Warriors on Tuesday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I've made was getting an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. Based right in Appleton and Waukesha, they're locally owned for 2 decades. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and even include a true lifetime warranty. Learn about Good Health Saunas options at goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen. And you can get $500 to $800 off your purchase. Or see them for yourself March 21st through 30th at the Realtors Home and Garden Show at State Fair Park. Remember, that's goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
just hit the cool to me in an off-air conversation that you just kind of heard on the air. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. 13 years ago today, the Wisconsin Badgers in altitude. And I know it's a big buzzword right now, as the Badgers are in Denver. Beat Vanderbilt in the round of 32. Let's go to the Sweet 16.
Exciting times.
It was. I mean,
0 points in the first half for Ben Bruss, 13 in the second half.
Oh,
let's go.
Big second half.
13 years ago? Is that what it was? Wow.
You're getting old, brother.
That's a long
Holy
time.
cow, yeah. Wow. Wow. Maybe I need to say these things now because it feels so far away to make myself feel better. Yeah. But what it makes me feel
does it every morning.
Yeah, Holmgren, Ron Wolf paid superstars.
Don Beebe was an amazing receiver they signed up for agency. Don Beebe was
Strofe and I had the pleasure of hosting with Chewy last week, so we know all the Ron Wolf references on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy 94.5 ESPN 7 to 9.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
That being said, what's happening in the current time is the continuation of Alex Strofe versus Kyle Wallace.
You know, I love Alex Strofe. I love Alex Strofe. But here's the thing, Alex. I'm telling you this right now. I'm a ghost follower on social media.
I love Green Bay.
For those who don't know what a ghost follower is, that's somebody who just, watches stories or looks at pictures but doesn't like it, doesn't comment, just judges in their own head. And Alex Strofe has given me so much content to judge because he continuously post these food pics. And usually if somebody's going to post their food and their dinner, usually you expect it looks scrumptious.
Presentable.
Yeah, for real. Like I know for
restaurant quality.
Yeah, like I don't post food because I know my stuff isn't quality to be posted to be bragging about.
Go to YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
And so I'm on social media yesterday, and I'm scrolling, going through stories, looking at people's stories. I said, here goes Alex Strofe. Let's see what Alex Strofe has. Alex Strofe shared this disgusting-looking plate of food of corned beef, or whatever you want to call it, on his story.
Whatever you want to call it.
I told baby girl, I said, look at this nasty thing. I said, I don't know why.
So now you're not ghost judging, you're ghost judging with others.
I say, baby, I like somebody needs to tell him not to post this plate. Now, this is only 2 weeks after, for some reason, unsolicited, he sends, was it salmon? What was it?
Wasn't unsolicited. It was salmon because we had a conversation about salmon on the show that day.
But nobody said
it's pretty unsolicited.
That's solicited.
Nobody said, hey, Strofe, if you
send us your salmon tonight.
I had salmon multiple times since then. You didn't see me send a picture of the salmon that I made because I understand that it probably only looks delicious to me. But to you, it probably would have looked questionable, just like that corned beef that you had that you shared on social media to all your social media followers. Now everybody's judging you for having that dry, ugly-looking corned beef. You can't.
You're missing a big element to all this.
What is that?
Every meal he makes. Oh, it was so good.
Oh my God.
Oh, this meal was so good.
He's undefeated according to him.
Oh, this macaroni and cheese out of the box, I crushed it.
First off.
And then wait a minute.
I don't make mac and cheese out of the box.
Oh, of course. You're too big time.
Remember the one time? Didn't I tell you guys I made like a $55 mac and cheese once?
Yes.
And it was no better than the mac and cheese out of the box.
Yeah, you did say that.
I will admit, was not very good. I have my misses.
You have a lot of
beef and cabbage. Today is St. Patrick's Day. I wasn't going to have time to make it, so I made it yesterday when I had a little bit more time.
Attempted to make it.
Not attempted to make it. I have leftovers in the fridge. Would you eat it?
Hell no.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I enjoy not using my sick days on food, like food poisoning.
If you were
phenomenal.
If you were over at Strofe's house and said, hey, we're going to have a St. Patrick's Day celebration, I'm going to make dinner, and then he puts that in front of you, what's your response?
I'm not going to Strofe's house for food.
No. But like in this scenario.
Suspend reality for a moment.
You are there.
So you've had a great
you're
time.
at a guest house.
It's time for dinner.
They lay this plate of Alex Strofe made food out.
I would say it's hard to mess up cabbage, so I would eat the cabbage. I would not touch the meat. I would say that meat looks I would poke at it a little bit. That meat looks entirely true. Nah, I got a little stomach ache. I'm not feeling it right now.
He would poke at it.
No, Stroke's food, it looks nasty. The salmon you had, it didn't look pink at all. It just looked nasty. It didn't look good. Stroke, you can't cook. I don't know why you acting like you can't cook. And your poor girlfriend, she just be sitting there just
chewing for 1 minute.
Sympathy bite.
I'm done with this.
Does she clean her plate?
Yes, she did. So did I. It was delicious.
Yeah, she cleaned off all the scraps
I
off
want
of
to
it.
pull in our resident chef. Executive producer Ashton Rotman is here.
He is a real chef that knows how to present food with pictures.
Right. So, I look, corned beef and cabbage, admittedly, and I put it back on the YouTube stream at ESPN, and ESPN Madison.
Get it out of here.
It is a tough thing to present well.
No,
but
it's
I will
not.
tell
No,
you,
it's not. It's not.
How
It's
many
really not.
How many times have you made corned beef and cabbage?
Listen, I don't.
No, answer
my
the
grandma
question.
made it, and my mama. Actually, matter of fact, my mama might be at home making it because typically, even though we black, she for some reason loves to celebrate St. Patrick's
Black
Day.
Irish.
Make it. I guess I don't know. But usually she has corned beef. So if I go home, I bet you she may have some corned beef sitting there for me, ready to eat. And they look a lot better than this. Look at that. Look at that fatty, nasty,
it does
fatty
look
piece.
unappealing.
I didn't cut off the fat until I ate it.
Why not? Why didn't you cut off the fat?
Because it's a big ass slab, so it was kind of.
The potatoes look like you literally just all you did was cook them for a little bit and put them on a plate unseasoned.
That was in a crock pot for 7 hours.
Disgusting. What I bet you don't put. What type of seasoning you put in there? Salt, pepper.
I mean, yeah, peppercorns. I put bay leaves in there.
Let's bring in Ashton Rotman, the real chef.
Yeah, Ashy,
beer.
What do you got?
I did think when I saw the picture posted last night, I did think that it was from a restaurant.
What type of restaurant?
A bad one.
Thank you.
Ashton.
Thank you. A hole in the wall. A hole in the wall that was just celebrating St. Patrick's Day, just like the hole in the wall at Stroh's place that was celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Joe, remember when you went to the Super Bowl party, you had leftover food?
Yeah.
If the food was good, it would have been gone. People eat the good stuff. They leave
And they
the stuff
take it to
don't-
go because it's so damn good.
Yeah.
How about this? In exchange for you not running the 1.5 mile dash.
No, he is running the 1.5 mile.
Why doesn't Stroh bring in the leftovers and Kyle can eat it? That will get you out of the run.
You got to clean the plate.
I would rather my quads, my hamstrings, my groin, my calves, and my feet be burning in pain and eat that nasty stuff and do that to my stomach.
Wow.
Oh, hell no.
Groin.
I would rather my groin be messed up than eat that food. I don't want to poison myself.
Stroh's hamstrings and quads might fall off running to this. Kyle, you'll be all right because you've done this before. Go run into your Screamin' Sicilian right now at Pick and Save and Metro Market. The Screamin' Sicilian original or thin crust is buy one, get one. An incredible BOGO on your Screamin' Sicilian favorites. And all you got to do is go to your local Pick and Save and Metro Market stores to get this unbelievable deal now through tomorrow. So get to Pick and Save and Metro Market. Taste what all that screaming is about. We got some great stuff coming up on Wednesday for Palermo's. A good opportunity for all of our fans who always call in a Frozen Pizza Friday to get that pizza prize pack. We might have something more on the table for you, so stay tuned. Man, I like Kyle versus Stroh. Could do that all day. But we got to get to something else next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Caleb Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I always loved the line, I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to prove us right.
But that's from a
sure.
non-petty person. A petty person would never say that.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is that why Tom Petty was playing when you came back on?
Yeah, that's
Petty.
Matchbox 20.
Kurt Petty.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Comes to offering medical coverage to your employees. Saganiac Planning can coach you on ways to balance costs and prioritize care for your employees with coverage provided by United Healthcare. Call Steve Fluellen, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliate. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or its affiliate. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Basketball Greatest Scorers. The Marquette Greatest Anything must include Dwayne Wade, but he only played 2 seasons, so he can't match the numbers of those with 3 or 4 years. But Wade is the leader of the 2-year club. Career average 19.7, among the best ever. Similar to Jim Jones' 2 years, 19 a game. And 2-year club, add Andrew Rousey. Like Wade and Jones, a season averaging over 20 points per game. Dwayne Wade, Jim Jones, Andrew Rousey, among the greatest scorers with only 2 seasons of play.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Check out the Princeton clubs in Madison or New Berlin for a better tomorrow. Strong body, strong mind, and you can help have a strong community with all the initiatives they got going on at each different club. Take that simple, small step to start today. No goal is too small. Free childcare with the membership is huge. It's absolutely huge, especially with where I'm at in my life. Open 24/7, and it's clean, and they have something for everyone, so don't wait any more time. Get started on your fitness journey today at the Princeton Club. Brad, we got after you a little bit because you've been interviewing babysitters. Did you put her through the gamut? The poor 16-year-old came over the Nortman estate. Did you put her through 21 questions?
Well, guys, I had high expectations, right? As we discussed on Friday, that we're going through a babysitter.
And remember, you're Goody. This person is like Devontae Adams.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's easy. I'm looking for value.
They need you more than, you need them more than they need you.
I do.
And you're
need them.
looking at lowballing this 16-year-old.
Yes, left without it, we would be in trouble. But she doesn't know that, which we wanted to keep that. But first of all,
negotiate. Gotta have power as a teenager.
She's supposed to show up at 12:30. Shows up at 12:25.
Oh, ding, ding, ding
she
for Brad Nortman.
The door. I said, hey, XYZ. I'm Brad Nortman. Come on in. Firm handshake.
Oh, Did she ask shoes on, shoes off?
Took shoes off. Didn't even ask. Walked right in, took shoes off, said, wow, this estate is beautiful. She didn't say that.
Brownie points.
No. If she lives out there, she'd probably be like, oh, this looks like mine.
Yeah. She took her shoes off. Didn't even have to ask. We had, the boys that were there, right? The babies
fostering, the twin boys.
Fostering. And she went right to them. She was warm. She was engaging. And this is like a 16-year-old. I'm expecting, I know Gen Z, right? Gen Z is sort of...
We see Strofe every day.
Crying all the time.
Exactly. Not very personable technology. Never pulled their phone out once. Looked me in the eye when she talked to me. I was like, this girl's a home run. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for okay, Mr. Nortman, it's going to be $40 an hour. So eventually we got to the end of it. She was lovely. She was playing with the boys. It was just 10 out of 10. So we got to it and said, all right, so what's your rate?
Oh, don't act like you were like, Brad's not tough enough to be like, all right, now what's your rate?
Well, she's okay. Well,
You're such a phony.
He's such a phony.
He said, "Oh, this is so wonderful. How much do you
want?
How much is it?"
I said, I was like, okay. I'm like, well, I forget even how I phrased it, but it was pretty professional. It was pretty like, so what's what's the expectation of your rate?
Oh my God!
You said that to no kid.
What's your expectation?
I would have been nervous.
And she goes, whatever you want to pay me. I just want to work. And I was like, that answer is the best answer you could probably. Now, she doesn't know who she's talking to.
A cheapo.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, it's the worst answer she could have given. She's on minimum wage.
Might I add, a multi-millionaire cheapo.
She pulled up to the house. She said, "Oh, I don't want to price myself too low."
Yeah, she's like, I'm walking into a gold mine right here. She's thinking
2 kids.
She's 2 babies at that, and another.
I'll give you
$11
an hour.
And so she was just like. Whatever you want to pay me. I just want to work. I'm just excited. I love kids. You guys seem so nice. I just want to work.
What's the rate, Brad?
And so I haven't quite decided what it's going to be, but I've never wanted to pay her more. I'll say that. I was thinking in my head, is it going to be 15? Is it going to be 12? Is it going to be 18? Maybe 20?
Wait, my
what?
Our joke was not a joke?
My God.
20. This girl did all this professional. She was fantastic. She walked in. She played the game. She went straight to the kids. She impressed you. You were like, man,
she was impressive.
If I
actually
like this,
can lowball her.
No, you were excited because you said, if my daughter came out like this, I'll be so happy.
I would.
You're a low baller. You start 12. I thought at least 20 to 25.
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, for twins, it's $30 an hour, dude.
30. Wow. Okay, I don't know about that. I think
that's too much.
I think the internal trying
to help this chick.
The internal ticker is somewhere between 18 to 25.
No, get rid of the 18. It starts at a 2, Brad. It starts at a 2.
You got 2 kids.
Come on now. It starts at a 2.
Maybe we start at 20 then, because as a tester rate.
Slow down. You just said that the internal ticker is somewhere between 18 and 25.
Yeah.
Meaning 5/7 of the ticker starts with a 2.
Yeah.
Majority rules, Brad. The ticker starts with a 2.
You gonna do a 22 hour?
Let's go 20.
22 is a weird number though, isn't it? It's gotta be even.
Why is it? No, so I have a 16, an 18, and a 20.
But that makes for a weird cash dollars amount. I'm giving away 5s and
the finance guy can't figure out the money aspect.
I don't want to go to an ATM
unless it's a flat 20. He can't figure it out.
20s are the lowest bill denomination I have.
She is a teenager. She has Venmo.
That's a compelling point. See, that's where that Gen Z mind can sometimes be helpful.
Did you really think you're going to have to pay this young lady
I was just
cash?
thinking,
so some of them don't have Venmo.
Just going through the wallet and just,
really?
Going through
cash.
I
had one that I had to make sure I had cash. I always forgot.
I had one. It sounds so weird. Question. Do you have to tip babysitters?
No,
I do.
No.
What do you mean tip?
Doesn't that just increase your rate then?
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things that's just a show of good faith that you appreciate what they're doing. It's not just a transaction.
You tip her every time?
Yes.
Just increase your rate.
No, it's not about that. It's just principle.
I don't like the ambiguity.
$20 an hour and then get the tip. That's what you do. Make them happy.
$10. So Brad, let me just take you through the scenario. Working on your $20, it's 4.5 hours. You paying her 90 or 100? You pay 100 and you don't even think about it. Damn it!
I think you probably do 100. I think you probably do 100. I don't know though. I don't want to test her, right? I want to
Why are you testing a child?
Give her the boys when they're tired. See how she does. NFL Combine.
You're the desperate one, not her.
I'm telling you.
I just want to.
You're not going to find a 10 out of 10 that comes back in there and says, my rate's. She's going to say my rate's 30. Take it or leave me.
I think I'd probably pay it. She was that good. But she said, I don't even care what I pass. I want to get work.
Which is why you should take care of her.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
This is your child. Your children. Make sure you're... Ugh.
I've never been more interested in paying a babysitter top dollar.
Jim, Matt, and Molly in Madison. Corey and Wally in Beaver Dam. Cheap Brad, Cheap Kyle, and Fun Ben and Strofe next.
It doesn't matter. Guess it doesn't matter.
We have this accident on eastbound 90. 84 right about at 68th Street. That's got the right lane blocked. Things are slowing down all the way back towards 92nd Street. On the westbound side, backing up from 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Northbound 43 is slowing down from Kilbourne up past Keefe. We got the southbound side backing up just through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Back on the brakes from just north of Lincoln down towards the KK River crossing. Southbound 41, watch for backups from Silver Spring down past Capitol. Catch the lucky deal at Tsunami Express Car Wash March 10th through the 17th. New customers get your first month for just $10 on-site only. Plus, 5 lucky members will win $1 memberships for April. Visit Tsunami Express today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, breezy with a low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high in the 40s to the north, 50 in Milwaukee, 60 to the south. From the WTF